Okay guys, here is what I've got in terms of the notes that are on your assignment. What you actually are looking for here is what things are changing from step to step. It says verify the identity of 1 plus cotangent squared theta equals cosecant squared theta. Okay, so what this is doing is verifying this right here, 1 plus cotangent squared theta equals cosecant theta. That's one of the Pythagorean identities, and you are verifying this. So right here you've got to change this thing into this. So it starts out 1 plus cotangent squared theta. And here we go. What you've got is this thing right here. I've got a highlighter. Okay. There we go. This thing right here has become this thing right here. The cotangent squared is now being viewed as the cosine over sine. That comes from this right here. Cotangent of theta equals cosine over sine. So that's what you've done here, is you've taken this cotangent theta and you have changed it to the cosine over sine. So what happened between here and here was due to the quotient identity, because cotangent went to cosine over sine. So that's why you have the quotient identity, is because that's what changed. Okay? You were referencing that cotangent of theta equals cosine of theta over sine of theta. That is the quotient identity. Okay, so it just rewrote it, simplified with the cotangent, cosine here, and the sine here. You multiplied that out. All right, so now this 1 plus cosine squared over sine squared, you've got to change that 1 into something that has a sine squared on the bottom. So that would be 1 over 1. And you are changing it so you have a sine squared on the bottom. Okay, which means 1 times that, you're going to have the same thing on the top. Sine squared theta and sine squared theta. That's where that comes from. And the answer was left for you. Write the fractions with common denominators. Okay, this is actually more of a simplify moment because you're putting it over the same thing. Sine squared theta plus cosine squared theta over sine squared theta. Now, when you get to the next one, what happened? It changed from sine squared theta, cosine squared theta to 1. So you go back here and look at your basic trig identities and you say, where does it change from sine squared theta plus cosine squared theta to 1? Well, that's due to the Pythagorean identities right there. Okay, so that's where you have the Pythagorean, because that matches up with what's happening. Okay. Now, you change completely from 1 over sine squared, the whole thing, to cosecant squared. Go back again to the basic trig theories and you look and see, where does it change? 1 over sine equals, if you're looking for this, 1 over sine equals cosecant, because that's what's changed. So you go over here, 1 over sine, right there. 1 over sine equals the cosecant. That is a reciprocal identity. So that is why you've got that in the notes. This right here is what you're filling in on your assignment. This was having it filled in. That's why it was on the notes on your assignment page. So, I hope that clears it up a little bit for you. and I will see you soon.